Welcome and Happy New Year. New beginnings, turning the page on a new year. Let's celebrate on the mat and tap into our inner wisdom and insights for our new year. And we'll be dwelling a bit in Sphinx pose. And anything I suggest today is part of your customized practice. So please make yourself comfortable. If you have injuries or any adjustments to make, feel free to do so. And we're going to take those sits bones. So at the base of the spine, either side of our tailbone, get physical right here, that awareness of our physicality. Take those sits bones to the edge of a cushion or blanket on the floor, on the mat, and just feel that gentle curve of your low back. So the pelvis is going to be tilting slightly forward. And you just notice that support and physicality of our base, the pelvis, the lower back. Take the hands to the thighs and feel the root through the sits bones, our anchor to the earth. The hands on the thighs, just another reminder to ground ourselves, to center in the middle of our tilting planet. Inhale and exhale. Feel free to close the eyes to cut out any visual distractions. Noticing your breath to begin with. And even as you notice the quality of your breath, noticing the effect of your awareness on your physical self. Inhaling and exhaling, that's simple. So we have all of these muscles and systems in the body to accessorize the breath. Feel free to imagine that you're breathing that inhale in through the third eye and between the eyebrows, enlightening and expanding the mind at the same time as bringing us to a sense of stillness, a sense of focus on our practice. As you exhale, just cascade that exhale throughout the body so we can bring that relaxation, that release to the entire nervous system. Invite that inhale in through the third eye, cascading it down the body. On the exhale, transforming our autonomic breath into conscious breath. And through our breath, we are wiser because we feed our brains with that oxygen and that efficient system of oxygen. Maybe as you exhale, you'll notice the shoulders drop away from the ears and those shoulder blades glide down the back towards the sits bones. So you feel a bit taller already. Allow another 3 or 4 rotations of breath to travel through the body through this awareness. See if that can calm the mind, if the mind has a quality of the surface of water splashing around, waves and currents. See if we can bring that surface a little closer to a very calm lake for the moment. At least for the 60 minutes we're together, try to bring that to our awareness. And if thoughts come and go, no judgment. Deepen your breath, flutter the eyes open, and then reach for the sky, our inspiration above us all the time, the stars and the clouds and the moon, sun, all of it, reaching up with the side body. So those accessory muscles of the breath, allowing us to reach higher. Inhale, and then bring the hands into prayer position. And then take your fingers and clasp them together. If you can take the palms towards the sky, opening up that expansion from the wrists through the palms. And as you reach up, inhale, and as you exhale, feel the shoulders drop away from the ears again. Tuck the low ribs in. So while you're expanding that heart, shining forward, you're also fortifying that base. So already you'll feel that transverse abdominis getting that deep core engaged and stable. And then release the hands. Let's cross the hands. So cross the wrists and then take the palms together. Just notice that feeling there as you press the palms together, a whole other set of opening across the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, and then switch the hands, the cross of the hands. Pleasant, beautiful breath in. Nice long exhale. Come back to the palms, reaching up towards the sky. Keep that reach, toning through our arms here. Let's be aware of your base, of your anchor on the floor, and then we'll lean and flex over to the right. And then the left. So we notice that the ribs get their extra space as we lean. Making breathing more comfortable, more efficient. Travel with your breath. And then release the hands, and we're going to take our clasp hands behind the head, so at the base of the skull. Give a gentle lift to your skull here, just from the palms of your hands at the base of the skull. Tiny millimeter of lift, so you feel a bit, maybe a millimeter taller, allowing space between the vertebrae. And then if you can, transition here to bringing the elbows together in front of your face. So you're going to bring them together. And then we're going to sweep those elbows down and just come up, separate them. And we're going to take a big circle and up above us. And as you do that, see if you can have your wrists or the back of the hands meet behind you. And then we're going to draw the elbows down towards the floor and then together in the middle. Inhale as they go up towards the sky, separate, and then see if you can bring the back of the hands or the wrists together. If you have shoulder issues, make smaller circles. Inhale up. Exhale as they come down. So do our rotations here, gliding through the shoulder sockets, those very valuable connections. Bring some sense of oil can to those joints. And really kind of feel that reach, feel the expansion, waking up those connections. And then keep those hands, fingertips on the shoulders, and allow the elbows to go out to the side here. So we're just here with our touching the shoulders, and we're going to make circles with the elbows backwards. Small circles are fine, big circles. And then come forward. And then reach those hands forward. Inhale, just feeling that sense of receiving through the palms. And drop the shoulders away from the ears here, so you feel that engagement of your entire shoulder complex behind you. So behind your heart, those muscles have your breath, your back. It's absolutely an amazing support system for their breath. Inhale. Exhale, notice that moving outward that happens, expansion on the inhale, and exhale, bringing together towards the center. Now take the back of the hands together. Inhale, exhale, sweep it out towards the side, toward T-arms. Bring them back together in front of the body. Exhale. So we can bring the collarbones longer in that horizontal space. Come back together. And then exhale out. Now we're going to reach out with our fingertips. So we're going to keep the expansion across the shoulders, and yet at the same time, rotate the palms up towards the sky so that gets even wider across that heart, chest space. And then keep that opening that you feel here and take the palms down. So the shoulders stay open, rather stable here, as we keep the palms down and then bring them up and down again so we can rotate that out. And just notice that you can rotate that wrist and the elbows while keeping the shoulders stable and aligned. And then palms towards the sky again. Inhale, reach up. Now we're going to twist to the right. And we're going to take our chest towards the right knee. Take the fingertips down to the floor. Nice and fluid here. Keep your gaze soft in that neutral space. So aligning with your, more or less your knee and your sternum. And just feel that reaching tall on your inhale. Now on your exhale, turn your chin over the right shoulder. And then turn the chin over the left shoulder, right through center. And then let's go back to the right shoulder, looking over there, and see if we can reach with our chin towards the collarbone on the right. So tucking it in, and then tracing that line in towards the sternum. So in towards that jugular notch, in between the collarbones. And then trace the line up towards neutral spine. Palms towards the sky. Inhale, reach up towards the sky, carving the path over to the left. We're going to turn the sternum, the heart, the shoulders towards the left knee. Fingertips or extra roots to the floor. Feel the height. Your inhale with the neutral chin over the sternum. Find your alignment here. Find the natural alignment with the breath so it matches the breath. So we're not forcing any stiff alignment, just a natural stacking of our tower. Inhale, exhale, and then look over the left shoulder. Feel that matching of our twist up in the head and the neck. And then look over the right shoulder. And then bring it back over the left shoulder. And if you can tuck that chin towards the collarbone and trace that line into the middle. Gazing down at the heart briefly. And then back to neutral. Swivel yourself back to center. Take those fingertips to the base. So we're really using those roots in the floor. And then we're taking our fingers behind us, really opening up again. If we keep the thumbs forward, you'll notice, that opens up the heart. A wisdom of the heart. Inhale, exhale, feel the root, and then we'll take the right ear toward right shoulder. Pressing through your left hand, press into that floor through the fingertips. Take your right hand and just bring the right hand to the left ear. Press your ear into your hand into the ear very gently. And then release, exhale. Take the hand back to the floor, just feeling that drop, feeling that lengthening of the left side. This is all about lengthening the left side. Take the right hand to the right ear. Inhale up. Feel that lengthening we've already created on the left side. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Feel the right fingertips reaching deep below you for that anchor. Find the breath here. And then take the left hand to the right ear. Press counter pressure here, very gentle. And then release. Left hand down. Notice the breath matching the release here. Extra exhale. Take the left hand to left ear and keep it tall as you reach on back up and just look up towards the sky, chin down, look at the heart. Keep that third eye moving. Turn right, turn left, just so we get that full spectrum of movement. And come back to center. We'll transition. We're going to take some bridging before we go up. So let's take a recline. Move your blanket aside. Take the feet to the bottom of the mat. And you can have the props nearby. Don't need them right away. If you have a block and a strap. Great. Ease yourself down to the mat. So we want to curl down Take the elbows down, support the head as you come down, and then we're going to bridge up. So, but before we do that, let's set our foundation. Taking the feet to the floor, feel the root of the feet. Spread your toes. As when we stand, we're going to try to expand the surface of our feet. So that's why we spread the toes and support, again, the entire tower of our body. Going up, take the fingertips to the back of the heels, just for a nice alignment there. Feel the folding away of your shoulders from the midline, so they're coming towards the floor. And then press the full length of your arms into the mat. Feel that lifting of your sternum, and you're unrounding yourself already. And because we'll be doing Sphinx, we're going to just do some gentle arching here. So lift the hips up towards the sky, press through the feet, keeping the knees hip width apart. If you need help with that activation of the core leg action, you can take a block in between your thighs as you lift up, just to activate that midline. If you have any issues there in the groin muscles, this is a great strengthener to stabilize and bring in. Hold your arms to the floor, so keeping them rooted in the entire surface, and then curl down through the spine. A wave action, bringing it down. And your anchor, again, being here at the end, is the sacrum on the mat. So you feel that triangular bone. And then reach up. Following the inhale up, sternum towards the chin, and then down. Bridging. Beautiful everyday pose. Very active, entire body. And let's do 2 more just to really get our flexibility going there. Feel free to, at this bridge, you can take the fingers and clasp them beneath you just to get a little extra arch. But again, you don't have to over effort either. Just come on up with another breath. Remove, if you have that block there, you can remove it. We're just going to bring some decompression into the spine now by inhaling the right knee towards the chest. Just give a hug, hold behind your thigh. Inhale, feel the curling of the spine, and then find your sacrum, that base of the spine, just root it to the mat a little more. And then if you can, find that right foot towards the sky. Even if you need to keep your knee micro bent, that's okay too. But you can get a little hamstring wake up here, bend and straighten. And then we're going to do here, knee can be bent or straight. You're going to press the bottom, the thigh into the hands, and the hands into the thigh. So as you do that, notice that'll just lengthen the low back a little bit, especially that right hip is a little more plugged in. Inhale, exhale, release, and then the foot comes to the floor. Other side, inhale the left knee towards the face, give it a hug behind the thigh. So we're protecting the knee there. Curling through the spine, now find the sacrum and imprint it on the mat. So now we've got a great alignment there. Let's see if we can reach that foot towards the sky, or just keep it micro bent or fully bent if you're more comfortable with that. Okay, so now we're going to take that thigh towards the hands, and the hands towards the thigh. And counter pressure there. Lengthening things out, a little quick fix for lower back compression. Release, exhale, left foot to the floor. Release both feet. We're going to take the feet together. Just open up the hips here. So soles of the feet come together. We make that butterfly action with the knees out. That beautiful triangle in the middle, at the back of the pelvis. So we've got that anchor there. Now we're just going to gently rock side to side with the knees. Very gently on the knees. Keeping the feet magnetized together so you can protect your knees there. Just a gentle opening, noticing an inhale through that third eye again, wisdom of the body, your intuition, and exhale, See if you can cascade that exhale all the way down to the hips. Hands can be on the heart and the belly or on the floor. Use your breath here to see if that hip socket just gives a little tiny bit more release, passive release here. Ease the breath in. Again, if anything's uncomfortable, bring yourself back to easy pose with the knees together and the feet wide apart. Make it easy for yourself. Exhale. And then take the hands to the side of the thighs, bring the knees together, and we're going to roll over onto the belly. Finding my hair tie here, so come onto the belly, just ease yourself over. And from here, forehead to the mat. Reach the arms next to the ears. Reach out long in our swimmer action pose. Reach long on the inhale. On the exhale, see the third eye is on the floor. So release out any stress you need to release out of the third eye here. And then allow the hands to drift towards the shoulders. Spread the fingers and we'll take them right next to the shoulders. Find the elbows. They're going to find the ribs and glue themselves to the ribs. And then the tops of the feet. We'll draw that line from the third eye all the way down the middle. Find the feet. And then the tops of the feet are on the mat and the toenails. And we'll see if we can press that into the mat. Lengthening, seeing if we can activate those legs. Point the tailbone towards the heels. And now we're in alignment. So we're ready to protect that low back and ease up into our cobra. Inhale, curl up. Keep the gaze soft, just gently a little forward ahead of your gaze. And then exhale down. So towards the top of the mat, the eyes look and just follow that lift of the head and the shoulders. Another. Exhale down, strengthening our low back. Come down, and we're going to take our spider cobra. So the hands are going to come up in that spider hands. And then you're going to take the hands away from the mat, so just outside the mat. The elbows and the arms are being 90 degrees more or less, so the elbows are reaching up towards the sky. So you can, if there's any confusion, you can look up here. I'm rooting through those fingertips again and rooting through the tops of the feet. So let's anchor those. Pull back with your fingertips towards the heels, just they're pulling down towards the mat. That lengthens your back as we inhale, lift the head up. The shoulder blades are more together in this action, kind of cradling the heart, and then exhale down. So you don't have to come up as far if that bothers your low back. But let's ease up 2 more times here. Exhale down, really unrounding ourselves again. Aligning that third eye in the heart, the path to wisdom. And energy points that the ancient yogis identified. Let's bring the hands back to that place next to the shoulders, elbows into the ribs. So we're going to take our action towards Sphinx here. Inhale into a baby cobra, and then allow the forearms to slide forward and the hands to stay in that palms down position. Keep the gaze down towards the mat here as you lift the head up. Take the shoulders here away from the ears, so we're aligning ourselves nicely, protecting the back. Roll them away from the ears, so we got the shoulders engaged. And then see if you can find that alignment. The skull is in line with the spine, so we're just lifting up a little more, pressing through the feet. Really point your tailbone towards the heels so you can take that protection in the low back. And then the heart is your vision here. So let's take the vision of the heart and put it forward towards the top of the mat. Peel that open, so like a curve upward. And then you can bring the eyes and the third eye with it. And we're in Sphinx. Now, if any of this bothers your low back, please come down into a more diagonal pose, but keep the skull in alignment with the spine. Gently pulling back with those forearms, and then ease yourself down to the mat. Take the hands below the third eye as a pillow and sway the hips side to side. Exhale. Release it. And then inhale back up into Sphinx. So we're taking those hands towards shoulders and then the forearms. Pressing through the feet and just unfold and see if that feels any different this time. And then bring the gaze down, hands down below. So we're really trying to go softly into this curve of the back. This is a curve through the mid and upper back. So we're not forcing curves too hard into the low back. This is opening up our hearts and our front of the body or the top of the body. Inhale, back, try another Sphinx. Keep it in a diagonal low. You don't have to go more, quote unquote, each time. Just find some gentle curve there. The wisdom of your body, intuition, trusting your intuition and your body, and then down. So we're going to take ourselves up into a forearm tabletop from here. So curl the toes under, lift that core up, and we're going to bring the knees forward into our elbows below the shoulders and knees below the hips position. And from here, feeling that grounding through the palms, through the forearms, we're going to separate the shoulder blades and lift the back of the heart towards the sky. Inhale, exhale. Let's bring the sternum towards the floor as we bring the shoulder blades together. You can follow this action with our breath. Toning those muscles around the heart, the breath muscles. Feeding the brain of our heart, feeding our brain in the head. Maybe just clarifying things for those connections. And from here, let's find that diagonal neutral for the spine and take ourselves into a forearm cat-cow. Curl the tailbone under, lift the back of the spine towards the sky, allow the head to drop and see the knees. And then lift the tailbone up in a gentle arc towards the floor this time. So we're going to drop the navel and then bring the shoulder blades together and gaze up softly towards the top of the mat and then back and forth. Follow this curve. Wave action again in the other direction. In your mind's eye, follow the intricacies of the spine, that pathway, curvy pathway down to the base. And follow it back up on your exhale. And then take the hips towards the heels. If you're comfortable with child's pose, keep those long arms as you bring the third eye back towards the knees, and we'll take our child's pose. Feeling those arms nice and long, reaching out towards the top of the mat, and then we'll take the palms towards the sky. So that same rotation we were doing in our T-arms, keeping those shoulders engaged and towards the center as we open the palms. This should feel good. If it feels weird in your shoulders or anything uncomfortable, just come back with the palms down. Inhale, feel the belly at the thighs. Exhale, cascade that exhale through the body. And then take the palms down, lift through cat. We're going to move towards our dog pose. So that same engagement of your shoulders as you come into dog. So keeping those shoulders folding away from the ears as we come up into dog. Take the index fingers, point them towards the top of the mat. Spread the fingers, little sunshine fingers, hands down on the floor, curl the toes under, lift the knees off the mat, and the ribs come to the thighs. So easy dog here as we keep the knees bent and tiptoe those hip width apart feet. Find the length in the spine. Find the connection all the way from the top of the head to the base of the spine here. And then if you want to try to straighten that leg, right side, right heel comes towards the floor. And then we'll do that alternating action with the other side. Straighten the left leg, heel comes towards the floor. Ease through this. As you keep those shoulders strengthening, release the neck, so it should feel a relief for the neck. And then if you can come into an even tiptoe here and bring the heels down towards the mat, we're just coming a little further towards our full down dog. Heels might have trouble reaching all the way down to the mat. That's okay. You can feel the opening of the hamstrings. Now bend the knees and simply walk the feet towards the hands. And take a walk towards the top of the mat. Great. And now we'll take that ribs to the thighs. And this is the lovely strengthener here. Spread the toes, find the full surface of that foot on the floor. Sweep the arms behind you. So you're opening up across the collarbones there. And then sweep the fingertips down towards the mat and then up to next to the ears. Take the ribs off the thighs. Imagine that block between your thighs. So you magnetize towards the center in chair pose. Inhale, exhale, and then come on up, keeping the arms up, up, up. Stay tall as we reach up into our mountain pose at the top of the mat. As you exhale, sweep the palms outward away from you, and they're going to come and clasp behind you at the base of the spine. So if you can clasp the hands here, feel the weight of the hands towards the tail, and open up, unround, stand tall, look to your right, look to your left, look forward, up towards the sky, and down, freeing our gaze as we open the heart. And then release the hands. Find that broadness across the shoulders as you just drop those arms next to the sides. Let's review a little mountain here. So we'll take our solid feet on the floor, energy up through the legs. If you magnetize the legs together, you'll notice that those bigger muscles engage. You get the glutes stabilizing us and the quads lifting the knees up. And then we drop the tailbone gently. That naturally aligns the spine, taller, strong and tall here. Find your crown of the head, third eye, down the throat, the heart, base of our ribs, navel, pelvis. Just noticing ourselves in physical space in our standing, a very powerful position. Let's make it powerful. Great. So now we're going to find some balance. If you need to, at this point, grab any piece of furniture that you'd like to have as your help with our adapted dancer pose. You can do that. If you need to stand next to a wall, just make that transition, or you can just try it in space. Great. So we're going to take our left foot as our base here, top of the mat. And just find that anchor through that strong tower on the left, glutes engaged, and we're going to bend the right knee and the foot goes behind us, right angle. And just find the balance here. Inhale, exhale, lift your left arm up next to the left ear. So here we are making that length on the left side on the inhale. And on the exhale, if you can feel that hinge of the left hip and just lengthen, make that diagonal connection from your back knee to that front hand at the top, diagonal. So we're bending forward. That's the major action of dancer pose. Come on back up and then just release to mountain so we can feel that action as we might want to adapt to another level. So we'll take that same balance on the left and bend the right knee, left arm next to left ear. So we have that tower on the left. Reach back. If you want to reach back and touch your foot, just touch the foot. You don't have to grab it to destabilize yourself at all. You can just touch it and then hinge forward on an exhale. Some people like to grab the foot. That's another challenge, but if you want to dip forward, like touching it, that's fine. Come on back up. So let's come down. One word as we transition to more stuff is that in dancer pose, it's also like Sphinx, your heart is really the lead here, not the middle, not the head, but the heart. Great. So beautiful. We'll try it on the other side, but first we'll just take that right foot, trace a line behind us, and we're going to end up in high lunge. So step back with your right foot, curl the toes under, and find the drop of our pelvis into the midline. Bend the left knee behind the middle two toes. Everything's nice and balanced and aligned here. Hips forward, squaring them off as much as you can. Drop the hips, find that equilibrium here. And this will really open up the right quad. If you reach back and keep that leg straight, inhale the arms up. Now we find accessorize your breath. Inhale up, prayer position above the head, hovering above the third eye. Hovering above the crown of the head. Look up at the possibilities here in our high lunge. And then sweep the arms out into a wing position. So we're flying forward. We're just going to hinge and we're going to tiptoe the right foot forward to meet the left at the top of the mat. So let's visit the middle of the mat. So just turn around, stand in the middle of the mat. So this time we're going to shift to the right foot and we're going to take eagle on our way over to the other side. So let's take our base of eagle. So eagle is another way to find that midline, to find the middle zone and stabilize ourselves. So take that right foot, stabilize, take the left foot, lift it off the mat and take it in front of, take the left in front of the right, exactly. And then inhale the arms into that wingspan. Exhale, left arm comes under right. And we bring ourselves into eagle arms. Wrap around as much as you'd like. You can take the back of the hands together or just you can wrap around the palms. Find the midline, glue yourself to that midline. And as you keep those inner thighs together and the legs really magnetized, bend the knees safely. I'm going to do it sideways so I can show you. Keep ourselves as if you were in chair pose, spine long. And the third eye here is behind those hands. Keep the gaze steady and still. Just kickstand that left foot. And then come up if you fall out. It's okay, like I just did. And here that gaze and the third eye are really our guide. Come on back up. So that was the right leg. Let's come out of that, step towards the top of the mat, and we'll do the other side and come back later. So let's stand here on the top of the mat and we're doing our adapted dancer first. Right leg is our stability. Bend the left knee. Inhale the right arm next to right ear. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, hinge at the right hip. Keeping that diagonal, remember that heart, the light of the heart shining in that forward position. You can just take the left arm next to the body and then back up. Inhale back to our mountain pose. Exhale, let's bend the left knee again. See if the left hand can just touch the foot or grab the foot. Inhale the right arm next to the ear. And cascade forward with your exhale. Gaze still and calm. Excellent. Come on back up. Foot to the floor. We'll take our left leg forward, trace a line in the sand behind you. Curled toes in the back there. Keep that leg straight. Find our comfortable width of the stance. And then drop the hips towards our high lunge. Inhale the arms up towards the sky. Drop the shoulders away from the ears as you exhale. And then bring the palms together. Find your foundation, your stability below, the flexibility on top. And then tiptoe forward, wingspan out, fly forward, tiptoe up into mountain pose. And then we'll step towards the middle of the mat. And now the left foot will be our anchor as we take the right toes in front of the left and find our eagle legs. Inhale, arms wingspan, right arm under left. Beautiful. Take the forearms together, back of hands, palms. The gaze finds that still point to match the stillness of the mind in the distance. Bend and hinge as if you were coming in a chair, but glue those legs together. Eagle. That's a wise animal as well. And then come on up, swivel it out, shake things out, roll the shoulders behind you. Good job. Take your feet out to the side, parallel toes. Take the hands to the top of the thighs. This is where we're hinging when we come down towards the mat. Grow the length out of the pelvis so that pelvis is a beautiful base, and then the spine like a beautiful stalk growing out of it. Inhale, exhale, cascade forward. And then bring the hands down below you, fingertips on the mat, pulling, or on the floor, pulling back towards the feet, lengthen the spine to a flat back. And then bring your palm to the floor if you can. On the left side, right hand comes to your heart as you twist over towards the right, staying stable through the pelvis there. Exhale, bring the palm down on the right side. Switch it up to the other side. Ease through this, another rotation, right and left. If you can bring yourself outward, walk the hands out. We're doing a very wide plank to begin with, just briefly, and then bringing the feet together. And finding ourselves in plank. If you want to bring the knees to the mat, I'll show it from the side. You can bring the knees to the mat just to support yourself. And then, or you can come into full plank, but either way, we're really using the base of our hands, fingertips, rolling shoulders away from the ears, and making that nice long spine stable. Engage your glutes. Inhale. And exhale. Bring each knee down softly. Roll the hips back over the heels, or if you're more comfortable with lying on your back, hug your knees towards you on your back. Forehead to the mat. Feel the warmth. Notice the moving around of the cells we've created, stirring things up. Roll your head side to side. And feel the rolling out of the entire spine here. Feel free to keep the knees together or out to the side. Find the child's pose that's suited for you. Find your breath here. Just take a tour of the body. Again, if this is uncomfortable for your knees, come onto your belly or come onto the back. Full length on the belly or just on your back, hugging the knees. But allow this to be a pause to find your breath, just to kind of stabilize again. Take a tour of the body. Sigh it out. Great. Curl up. Let's come onto the belly. And then from here, we'll just roll onto the back. And then as we bring the head down to the mat, just notice in this position, keep the knees bent, knees together, feet wide apart. Just feeling, close the eyes, breathe in through the third eye again, noticing the front of the third eye, so between the eyebrows, but then notice the back of the third eye, so that line behind us connecting us to the earth, the back of the skull as well. And nice big exhale. Hug the knees towards the chest. Let's massage our low back here. Taking the hands to the knees, we'll just make circles, keeping them together towards the right, towards the left. Towards the right. And then bring them back to neutral, and we'll take those circles apart, away from each other. Change the direction of the circles towards each other. And then let's take the knees towards the armpits. Find the sacrum. See if we can get that a little more of a triangle on the base of the mat. So that's going to uncurl your spine, and that's okay. Drop the thighs towards the ribs. Just allow gravity to release through your exhale. Take the hands to the back of the thighs, and then reach the soles of the feet towards the sky, from child to happy baby. Take the hands to the ankles or the sides of the feet. Happy baby. Beautiful hip release here as we anchor through the sacrum. And roll side to side if you want. Play around with it. Child's mind, beginner's mind, so valuable for our refreshing ourselves, refreshing our minds and bodies. Let's keep that child's mind, baby, happy baby attitude moving forward. Take the feet together. This time, hold on to the ankles as we come out into butterfly knees. And then back to happy baby. See if you can glide through this transition from butterfly to baby. Excellent. And now bring the feet to the floor. We're going to take an eagle twist. If you feel that's comfortable, excuse me, comfortable for your knees. If you would like to only take your knees together because you don't like that alignment with the knees, please take that option. But this time we're going to try this with the left leg crossed over the right. This is just a nice extra opening for the hip, for the sides of the thighs. So taking a twist this direction, this way can be therapeutic. Let's roll over onto our right side. Wait, did I do it? Yeah, is that right? And we're going to take the left knee down. So it's on the floor and the legs stay twisted. So we just get that extra stretch across the left thigh. Bring the palms together and arms long in front of you and trace the line with the left fingertips across the right arm. Left hand to the heart, elbow to the sky, and then reach out T-arms. So we're coiling up from the base all the way up to the mid-spine to the crown of the head. Inhale, press the right elbow into the earth. See if you can twist a tiny bit more through the ribs. Exhale, release. Bring your gaze over the left side. Celebrate a long exhale here. Left hand reaches towards the sky, long arm, upward, palms together. And ease yourself onto your back, unwind the legs. Cross the right leg over the left, if you're following me on that one. And roll onto the left side, right knee gently comes to the floor. Palms together. Right hand traces left arm. Right palm finds the heart. And elbow to the sky. We open up. T-arms on this side. When you exhale, notice the back of the ribs, the back of the lungs. And then press the elbow into the floor, lift up and exhale down. Maybe look over your right shoulder, right fingertips, distant gaze. Really warmed up the connections in our spine today. Easing our movements, moving forward. You can take this sense of ease off the mat with us. Reach the right arm up towards the sky. Palms together. And unwind, bringing the sacrum back to the mat. Release the legs. And then we have a alignment for Shavasana as well. We can really help ourselves by releasing. So the back of the skull, draw that line down to the sacrum. So we're on the mat, optimizing our breath and connections there. Take the fists and grab the side of your mat. Pull the mat towards your heels, so down to the base. And then feel the shoulder blades just rolling beneath you, opening up the shoulders, release the hands. A lovely setup for your opening of the heart here. And let's take the right leg long, left leg long. And then flex the feet and make fists. Inhale, exhale, release. And then the feet go out to the side. If there's any discomfort in your low back, you can take a pillow under your knees or Bend the knees. Celebrating our Shavasana. Valuable pose here to notice that witnessing. So we'll close the eyes again to bring ourselves into that very valuable witness inside. Taking a tour of our physical space, the skeleton, all of the muscles and joints. Finding an awareness, a heightened awareness of our body's needs. Allow the breath to soothe any remaining tension. And see how that influences the breath, how the breath can influence the body, and then in turn influence the mind. So they're working constantly in an exchange. The mind, the body, the spirit, and the breath coordinating. But let's see if we can bring that into a symphony with our intention and attention. Back to that third eye. The wisdom. And how this freedom through the breath affects our spirit as well. Perhaps we feel more harmony, peace, altruism, connection to others, or simply to the beings around us and to our planet. Inhale through that third eye again. Cascade the exhale through the body. All the way to the fingertips, all the way to the toes. Another inhale, sending healing to the body. Exhaling, radiate out that healing outward. Inhale, healing for the mind. Radiating outward. And another inhale for the spirit. Exhale that light outward. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bring movement back to the body, the elbows, the knees. Roll onto your right side, noticing the heart. Ease up to a seated position. Meet me in prayer position at the heart. Thank you so much for joining me in the practice today. Namaste.